Alright guys, here we are. Big Saw Sunday. Just got my new 661. New to me. It is obviously a used unit. Got the 038 and the 361. And we've got a mess on our hands. And some big wood to cut up. Trying to be like Dirt Perfect over here, drinking a Pepsi instead of my usual Dr. Pepper. As you can see, I already did cut a test cookie with the 661 yesterday, just see how it performed. Run a little fuel through it. I'm going to be cutting on this one. This is a 28-inch, just so you can see, and it's upside down for all you guys, but right at 29-inch hunk of maple. Got the 661 with the 36-inch bar, the 038 with a 32 Oregon, and the 361. I'm gonna call that a 24-inch bar. I don't know whether Stihl, I think I've heard this Stihl bar called 25 or 24. We're actually gonna get some real measurements on them too, real quick. Just so you know, it's getting a little cold this time of year. We actually did just turn the heat on today, and as you can see, I am way behind on firewood. But being a little cold, starting to wonder if my bars shrink, because they don't quite. You're not going to cut 36 inches with a 36-inch bar. I'm even going to cut 32 with this Oregon. So as you can see, all the saws wear big dogs, the felling dogs. And that is real handy when you're cutting trees. A lot of odd shaped stuff, so it's good to have that big dog in there. So let's see, what are you gonna cut? Now this Stihl, this 36-inch bar, we're gonna go right off the case. So even right off the case, you're only at about 35. And I hope that shows on camera. So now if you go off the tip of the dog, that's why I say I'm starting to wonder if it's cold, my bars are shrinking. Now this Oregon 32, let's go right off there. That's a 32-inch bar off the case. And this Stihl with 25-inch Stihl or 24, it's 24 and a half. So now what are we off the dogs though? That's what really counts, because that's what you're cutting off of. Come on, there we go. Now off the dog, I am at 33 and a half on that 661 with the 36. Now off this Oregon bar is a little more true to length. Oh, there you go, you can see I am at 30 and 3/4. And off this dog, we'll go off this side. Shorten my tape measure up a little bit. You guys are probably looking at the grass. I apologize. All right, so we are at just around 23 and a quarter on the 24, 25-inch bar. So that's why we're cutting a 28-inch or 29-inch maple. That way these two big bars will get all the way through it. There's not much difference here in length. And this saw is just long enough, it will not fit in my bucket cabinet. That's where this one will, in the bin. The 661 running full house. The 038 is running full skip. And the 361 runs full skip. So we will warm them up and get some cutting done. All right, guys, the 038, this has been my stumping big felling saw for past couple years now in the tree business. Again, it's running full skip. I'm going to run a cut with it on this 32-inch bar, and I'm going to run a cut with this Stihl. And I'm going to take this 32-inch bar off this saw with the chain and put it on this Stihl so that you can see 32 full skip, 32 full skip. Show you a little bit of a difference what an old 72cc saw versus a newer 90cc saw will do in big wood. Not trying to compare, I've just got the saws, I want to do it. Just sort of see how much faster the bigger saw is. I do know that from running these, you can lean on this one pretty hard with this bar, even in hardwood, not crazy hard. This one you can lean on it all you want. We will talk a little bit later, that might be the difference in full versus semi, or full skip versus full house. So skip is a little bit more prone to snag. Not bad for the old girl in hardwood. Curious about what those times are. Okay, the surprise here is that skip chain on that 32-inch bar is for the win. It definitely had the fastest time. It felt more aggressive, especially on the drop cuts. It felt like it was pulling harder. The 661 seemed like it was bogged down a little bit more compared to the 36-inch full house chain on the drop cut, and definitely dogged in. I could really lean on the full house 36-inch bar. I could not lean on the 32-inch skip bar because it did stall out one time during that cut, and that's why that dogged in cut is slower than the drop cut on the 661. And the 038 mag, it just doesn't really have enough to drag that skip chain. So it kind of broke my assumption that I should be running skip on an underpowered saw. Probably want to jump up to more of a full house chain on those underpowered, those smaller saws with the big bars. Well, I think we're a couple tanks in on that saw. I think we're 3 tanks in. 3, pretty sure 3, maybe 4 tanks in on that saw. And we've got a lot of this bucked up. Went pretty well. I'm tired. A lot of work. Old big saws are rough on you. Even got a good bit bucked up on the back side. Was just fixing to start bucking on this one, and I was actually trimming on that little piece sticking up, and that's what kicked that chain. So standing in an awkward position, must have twisted the chain just a bit. I will say I kept running that Oregon with the skip because I do feel like it drop cuts easier. It's more aggressive. And a lot of that I'm just sort of standing and bucking, as Bucking Billy Ray would say, stand and buck. And I just let it drop cut. And I think that chain is a bit more aggressive. We got most all this split up. Still got to work on that big chunk there. Some of that pile, and then I got another pile back there. I got some more wood over there. We got a ways to go, and then a lot of splitting to do. But we're well on our way. I might put that 36-inch bar back on with the full house and do some drop cutting with it and see if I can tell a difference. But that'll be here a little bit later this afternoon, if anything. It's break time, it's lunchtime. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.